Go.
Hi everybody, Penny here. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we are doing pesto pasta with chicken. Super easy. So I have here the induction cooktop, which I've talked about before. It works with a magnetic field instead of like heat. So it's much safer to cook with. And this one we actually bought for Caitlin, although I think I use it more to be honest, but that's okay. And I have our 4 chicken breasts all cut up in bite-sized pieces and a little bit of salt and pepper. We have 1 box of fusilini pasta all cooked and ready to go, as you can see right here. But you can use whatever pasta you want. You can use rotini, you can use spaghetti, you can use macaroni, penne, whatever pasta you want will work just fine. So the first thing that we have to do, because our pasta is already cooked, is brown up and fully cook our chicken. Then we are going to add the pasta, and we are going to add this wonderful pesto that I buy at Costco. But you can use whatever brand of pesto that you like. And in here is basil, pine nuts, oils, garlic. It's all together in one lovely dish. And if you don't use the whole bottle, you can freeze it. So if you have enough left over, you can actually freeze it in ice cube trays. So you have a little ice cube of pesto that you can throw in a salad, you can throw in another pasta dish, you can throw in tomato sauce, all kinds of things. And you know what? If you have baked potato and sour cream and a little dollop of pesto on top, it's really good. So that's what we have. So we have our pan all heating up here. Just turn it up a little bit. We're going to put in some oil. This happens to be olive oil. Just a couple tablespoons. And then we're going to put in a little bit of butter. If we were to use butter by itself, it would burn. But because we have the oil in the pan as well, it keeps the butter from burning because it dilutes it a little bit. The thing is beeping because I lifted up the pot. It's okay. And then we put in our chicken. And we get that nice sizzle, which is fantastic. I'm just going to hand that to Barry. And then I'm going to spread it out. And we're going to kind of like stir fry it a little bit until it's all cooked through. So if you want to make your own pesto, it's very easy. You have to get a bunch of fresh basil, some pine nuts, Parmesan cheese, a little bit of garlic, and some oil. And whiz it up in a food processor, blender, and ta-da, you have your own fresh basil. But this stuff is so good, I wouldn't bother, to be quite honest. So, there we go. It's cooking up fairly quickly. There we are. Now, a little trick that I saw Mary Berry do on her cooking show was when she's trying to brown chicken, she adds just a little bit of honey. Not enough to really be able to taste it in the dish, but just enough so that the sugars caramelize a little bit and you get nice brown chicken. So we're just going to put a little bit of honey. There we go. Stir that around. Now this, if you wanted to, you could add vegetables. So you could chop up an onion, you could chop up some peppers, broccoli would be nice. You could also, fresh mushrooms would be really nice in this dish. But we're going to serve it as the main dish, and we're going to have some nice vegetables on the side, or you could easily have a beautiful salad, Greek salad, something like that. Really good. Okay, she's cooking away. So when you do your pasta, we always do it a little al dente. That means it's not quite fully cooked. There's still a firm bite. It's not crunchy, but it's firm. It's not soggy or mushy. And the reason for that is because we're going to add it to a hot pot and stir it in with the chicken and the basil, and it's still going to be cooking a little bit during that time. So this was only in the pot for 5 minutes as per the box directions. So it's very important to look at the box directions because every pasta is different, and you don't want it to be overcooked because you don't want it to be mushy. And I'm going to turn that back up a little bit because the chicken is starting to release some of its moisture, so we're not getting the really high heat that we want for the browning purposes. There we go. So what else could you do with your pasta? Well, before, we've talked about in a previous video, we've talked about how you can make a pasta salad using a can of tuna and a bit of mayonnaise, little squirt of mustard, and then you can add whatever chopped vegetables you want. You can always freeze your leftover pasta if you've cooked too much. This dish would freeze very well because the pasta, the chicken, and the pesto is all freezable. So if you have any leftovers or you want to make it in advance, you can easily do this in advance and throw it in the freezer and then have it one day when you get back from after work or on a weekend when you don't want to cook, or just save it for a lazy day. And it'll probably taste even better because the longer it sits with the pesto, the more it'll soak in all those lovely flavors. So we're almost there. Now we're doing this with chicken, but if you wanted to do this as a vegetarian meal, oops, you got to get back in the boat. There we go. You could do it, as I said, with mushrooms. The thing is with mushrooms, fresh mushrooms, when you cook them, they shrink a lot. So even though you think you have a full pan of mushrooms, when they're cooked down, you're going to end up with half a pan. But mushrooms add a really nice meaty flavor. So if someone in your household is vegetarian, then mushrooms is a great option. Unfortunately, I don't have any today. We do have Pia with us still. She's hopefully going to be here right till the end of June. I did put aside some of the pasta and already mixed it with the pesto sauce, but I didn't have any mushrooms to be able to put in. So maybe next time. Okay. We're almost done. Okay. So that's going to take a few more minutes. So we'll be right back when this is all nice and browned up. Hi everybody, we're back, and there is our cooked and browned up chicken. So now we're going to add our pasta, which again has already been cooked. You don't want to leave the pasta too long after cooking it because it will end up one big blob and you'll have a hard time getting it apart. So this wasn't sitting very long. Plus, I did put a little drop of oil over the top and stirred it up so that it wouldn't congeal into one big blob. So now I am going to add about half this bottle, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter, because butter and pasta always goes well together. And we're going to stir it up. Look at that. That looks so good. Now you can put as little or as much pesto in there as you want. And I think I'm going to do just another couple of spoonfuls, and then the rest I'm going to put in the freezer. And I can freeze it in this bottle because it's plastic. So there's no chance of it freezing and breaking or anything like that. So let's get her all mixed up. Oh, it looks so good. Okay. And just for added bonus, we're going to sprinkle some Parmesan cheese over the top. Woohoo! And there, my friends, you have pesto pasta with chicken. So I hope you give it a go. Enjoy. Bye.